Hey, it's Beverly. I'm your host from Why Later When You Can Do It Now podcast. Here we talk about a lot of stuff from life in our early 20s, mental health, adventure and travel, to conversations about adulting, friendships, relationships, and many more. So let's hang out with me and enjoy this episode. Why Later When You Can Do It Now? Hello, you guys. Welcome to Why Later When You Can Do It Now. I am Beverly, and you are on the first episode of this podcast. Wow, you guys made it. Oh my god, I am so thankful and so grateful that you are here with me. I can't even express how I am so excited for this podcast. I'm so excited for you, my first listeners. You are potentially will be my loyal listeners. I am so happy that you are here with me. Um, Honestly, guys, I'm just gonna tell you that these podcasts will only take mostly about 30 minutes of your day, and I promise that you will get an outcome from this podcast. So stay with me, listen to me, sit with me for a second, for a couple of minutes, not seconds, for a couple of minutes, and talk about everything. Honestly, we'll talk about life, we'll talk about society, we'll talk about our lives in our 20s, we'll talk about adulting, we'll talk about adventure, everything, everything. I'm telling you everything. So let's just get started to the talk, okay? But before that, of course, we're gonna start with an introduction. This is the first episode. My name, once again, is Beverly Mambo. You can call me Bev. So, how old I am? I am 21 years old. I will be soon 22 years old. On May, I am a Gemini. My hobbies are including music, dance, travel, um, fashion, and more. When I say music, it's not like I listen to a lot of music. Is I listen to a lot of music, but my current passion right now is actually making music. So I am working on like an not even albums. Just I just post tracks on Soundcloud, and yeah, I'm working on Ableton software, and I'm working with my boyfriend. He has released more songs than I am. He has more time than I am, definitely. He's getting into it. I'm getting into it, and it will be lit. I I might be sticking into. Of course, I love EDM genre. I'm gonna stick into the EDM genre. Subgenres, I'm not too sure about that. Would love to stick into house music, but house music has different sub genres under that. We have bass house, we have tech house, we have progressive house, we have deep house. So I'm not sure what I'm sticking into, but like two of my biggest ones would probably be tech. I'm sorry, tech house and deep house. That's definitely it. But I love progressive house too and bass house. So we'll see. I am actually right now on a 4 5 day of work. We are at Honolulu, Hawaii right now. We are at the center of Waikiki Beach. It is beautiful out here. I am at the Airbnb. It is so cozy out here. It's only three of us here: my sister, my boyfriend, and me. And this room fits 7 people. You guys, this room fits 7 people. It's only one bedroom, but the bedroom is big. There are multiple beds, and the living room is big. It's giant. So I'm sitting on a sofa bed. This sofa bed can can occupy about 2 people, 2 adults, or 3 children. So yeah, the website says this fits 7 people. Yeah, there one more sofa bed over here, and the kitchen is giant. So one thing I love about the Airbnb, this is my first Airbnb I ever rent. Honestly, like by my own, and then I love to rent Airbnb instead of a hotel because like we love to cook, we love to save money, right? So we want, of course, the sometimes like Airbnb with kitchen is more expensive than the ones that not, but sometimes it is more cheaper than those hotel rooms that doesn't have a kitchen. So you kind of have to browse. It took me days to finally find this Airbnb. But yeah, this Airbnb is lit. It's cozy. It's not hot nor cold. Everything is supplied. So yeah. And then next, okay, guys, before we move forward, I'm just gonna tell you guys that I am honestly very, very nervous. Um, Before I started this podcast, I was like, can I even do a podcast? I don't know if my public speaking skills are like good, but you will never know unless you ever tried. So I try. I'm trying right now. I currently have my iPad, that includes my jot points for this podcast, so I won't forget stuff. And yeah, I am currently. I mean, it's my first episode, so I'm like, it's gonna be scary because I'm not used to this yet. But I've been practicing at home. I've been practicing everywhere in the in the bathroom, everywhere. Like I'm practicing as if I am doing a live podcast. It's funny. So um, we talked about travel earlier. Now we are in Honolulu. Why are we here? This is because I mean it's beautiful out here, and then I feel like this island is the closest one to California. I'm from California, by the way. It's the closest one to California that looks like our homeland that we grew up in, which is Indonesia. Cause like it's Indonesia is beautiful. Indonesia is so beautiful. It is very tropical. Same like here. I feel like Indonesia is a bit more humid though. So I live it here better. Cause I always sweat on Indonesia, but otherwise I love the view. Everything looks so similar, like the villages. Everything looks so similar. So that's why we decided to go here instead of like Miami. You know what I mean? Here we're gonna talk about everything, including my maybe like a little bit of background about myself. I grew up in Indonesia for a while, for like over 10 years, and I just come back here from Indonesia like about 4 years ago. Yes, I was born here, and um, you can still listen to my accent. I still have those non-American accent, as you can tell. Sometimes I'm insecure about it, but I am working on it. I shouldn't be insecure about it. I should be proud of it because like I'm authentic. I have culture and I have a native native I don't know how to say it, but I have a nativeness, I guess. Nativeness, is that even a word? Nativeness on my blood. So I should be proud of it, guys. I should be proud of it because I'm not whitewashed. I mean, okay, I'm not shading whitewash people. I'm sorry. I'm not shading, but I am still very proud. I will never forget my first language. I will always speak my first language forever. I will teach my first language to my kids and my grandkids. You guys, I'm not washing this away from my soul, my family, my generation. Okay. I swear this podcast is gonna be fun. We're gonna talk. Sometimes we're gonna talk about some serious stuff, but we're not gonna keep it too too serious. Like we're gonna keep it fun. We're gonna keep you listening. And yeah, you guys should vibe to my podcast. I work hard for this. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna talk about like my experience, probably like any culture shock, like maybe in some of my podcasts, like the difference. You guys should know about like the difference of the culture, like or maybe social construct. I guess everything, honestly, like societal value of here in the Western and the between the Western countries and the Asian countries. Okay, maybe like that. If you're interested in that, just let me know. Maybe I'll do an episode about that. But maybe even not, I don't think it's gonna play a big part on this podcast. But I will talk about it. Um, I am currently working in a lab right now. Like a diagnostic lab. Yeah, like diagnostic lab that tests blood and stuff like diseases. And I go to school at the same time. I go to school part time. I have 3 classes currently, not too bad, and I work full time. Sometimes it's hard to manage, but I've been doing it for years, and I'm getting my associate degree soon. When I get older, I want to live where I feel like I was there as a child. So when I was as a child, I was living in a tropical country. I was living in a farm. I was living near the beach. I was living in a village. And when I get older, I want to sustain that life again because I feel like that's my comfort point. Ever since I moved to California, ever since I moved to the city, my life has been so up. Okay. But but I've learned so much stuff. I have learned to survive. I have learned to adapt to new cultures and new people and new environment. So I feel like that's one of my biggest challenge, and I have achieved a lot. I have bought my own car. I We have our own apartment. Even when I started solo. I started with $0 to America. Actually, my mom gave me and my sister each $100, and that lasted for probably like 3 months. That $100. Yes, I'm not saying weird stuff. I am telling you the truth. But I got here from zero. Okay, so I'm very proud for what I got now. I am in Hawaii. I've been traveled to a lot of not a lot of countries, like couple countries in my 20s. I took my parents for a vacation 2 years ago, and they were so happy. I did that when I was 20 years old. Guys, I took my parents traveling at 20 years old. I am very proud of that. Next, we're going to talk about the title of this podcast. Definitely it's called Why Later When You Can Do It Now. This title this title of my podcast is very, very last minute. I've been thinking of the title. I've been thinking all the time. What should I put on Spotify as a title? I don't know. But it just popped up on my head. I should just name it Why Later When You Can Do It Now. Why? Because I was planning to go to Hawaii, and then my like I also have thoughts that maybe I should save my money and then and then go some next later. But then I thought of myself, why later when you can do it now? You know, guys, money will always come back. This is always the thought that I have before I travel. Before I travel, I would always say to myself, oh my gosh, Beverly, you're gonna come back home with only $3,000 in hand. What are you gonna do? You are fucked up. You have bills to pay. Girl, trust me, you those money will come back. Everyone needs a vacation. Everyone needs a recharge. I need a recharge. I work 9 to 5 jobs, and I've been doing it for years now. I mean, I'm still young, 21 years old. I have a long way to go. I have 9 to 5 jobs, and it is tiring. I go to school at the same time. So it is tiring, and I've been living here by myself and my sister. And then we've been taking care of ourselves when we were still 17. We take care of our food at home, everything. Like, I have house chores, so it's like everybody needs a recharge. So why later when you can do it now? You should not procrastinate. If travel is your priority, then you should do it now. Don't procrastinate, and you don't even know if you have time later, if you will ever have the time back to have a vacation. So when you have the time, just do it. Money will always come back. Okay? But I'm talking about why later when you can do it not now. I'm talking about everything, guys, not only travel. I'm talking about maybe your passion, your hobbies. Maybe you have a passion in acting, maybe you have a passion in music, maybe you have a passion in like dancing, maybe you have a passion in cook. Then you should try it now. Then you should do it now. It's okay if you fail. I failed a couple times. I bought so much stuff online. I tried nails, I tried beauty, I've tried makeup, and then ending up I've never used them because like I failed, like I never gained any clientele. But then it's okay to try, and rather than not even trying to find your purpose, like currently I am so skeptical about podcasts because I might I might be scared to be bullied online, but everybody, I mean, a lot of people has been through that. If they can do it, then I can do it. I mean, people are gonna hate, people are always gonna hate, but you know deep in yourself that there's actually a lot of people that love your talent, your true talent. That's what you have to admire, your true talent, you know? Okay. Next up, this podcast is not gonna be long, guys. I have to go somewhere. I have to spend the whole day outside. Again, explain how I wanted to start this podcast. Yeah, well, on my job, I work with computer, and we are allowed to use headphones and listen to music and podcasts. So we'll work 8 hours a day or overtime, and then I would listen to music and I would listen to podcasts. I would always listen to podcasts and like very inspiring podcasts, like self help podcasts, mental health podcasts, um like those motivational podcasts or societal or society podcasts, or like even those vlog podcasts. I am really inspired by this speaker called Ashley Corbo. She is one of the first podcasters that I listen to. I listen to podcasts for a year now, and she's probably my favorite one because actually she has inspired me to start this podcast because how she talks is just suits my mind. How she speaks, how she conveys the message is awesome. Like I've gained a lot. I've gained so much confidence and so much realization towards my life after I listened to her podcast. She is very inspirational. I think I will also say that she is. I mean, I think she has a degree in psychology, so I mean, she can speak. It's not like only her theory or stuff. She can actually speak about mental health. And society and experience society, experience in your 20s. She can actually talk. Okay. Yeah, what is this podcast all about? Honestly, we were talking about everything. I told you earlier, I will be talking about everything. I will be talking about mental health. I will be talking about adulting. I will be talking about life in your early 20s. I will be talking about heartbreak in relationships. I will be talking about love, friendships, um, you know, societal construct, everything, guys. I'm gonna talk about everything. So you guys better stay with me. You guys better stay with me because I work hard for it, and I promise you that you will gain it. You will gain something from it. Okay. This podcast actually also might be a trilingual language, but mostly it will be in English, of course, so everyone can listen. But I might have guests from like my old friend from Indonesia, and they maybe some of them, or maybe like some phrases they're gonna talk in Indonesia. I will try to translate it, and no worries, you will understand everything. And then even for my friends in Indo, you're listening to this on YouTube or Spotify, I will try to put a subtitle so you can fully understand. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys already know English, and I am very confident that you guys will know my message. But I will still put them the subtitles so you could understand better. And yeah, just letting you guys know that it might be trilingual because I will speak English, Indonesian, and maybe Manadonis. Manadonis is a dialect in Indonesia. So explain why my audience should listen to podcasts. Actually, I'm reading the questions. Yeah. Explain why you should. Okay, you might be asking, why should I listen to you, Beverly? You are literally younger than me. Why should I listen to your podcast? Why should I listen to your advice? I know that I am not old enough, maybe, to start podcast. I'm 21, and most of you guys are older than me, probably, and then you guys are probably have more experience than I do. But what I'm gonna say is that I'm not gonna say that I have enough experience, but I'm gonna say that I do have experience as a girl, as a woman, in my early 20s. I have experienced a lot, like mental health, everything. Like I have those experiences, and maybe some of you older than me don't have those experiences yet. Good for you. But if you later encounter that, then after you listen to podcasts, these episodes, this series, then you will have an outcome, and you will possibly have the solutions towards your problems. Probably, you will able to navigate your stress. You will able to control your stress and control your emotions. Probably, maybe, and yeah, after you listen, let's start listening to this podcast series, guys. This will be a therapeutic conversation, and yeah, um, also, guys, I will always be open for um for like a topic to talk about. So you can follow me on Instagram at underscore e or sorry at underscore BEFFEE. It's spelled Befe. Don't call me beefy. I'm not a beefy person. Okay, I'm not a beefy person. I'm a nice person. Okay, I don't like to cause troubles. I don't like to cause problems. But yeah, so you can follow me there, and you can DM me of any topics that you wanna talk about and you wanna listen to, and possibly I can, if you DM me and you're really interested, we can actually join on like a Zoom call, or we call now we use Riverside. I guess that's a link to, for Spotify Spotify podcasters. Riverside is like a Zoom meeting thing, and then we can talk about stuff there. We can record our stuff and then we can post them. And if you're interested, okay, we can talk about something, you know. And yeah, I will try to post every week, but for now, I am trying to get used to this. Maybe like once every 2 weeks. But yeah, guys, I am so grateful. I will see you again, my first ever listeners. I will see you again on my next episode. Please promise me I will see you, okay? I promise you that we will get an outcome out of this episode, okay? You will have a great time with me, and we're gonna have a chat, and we're gonna learn. We're all gonna learn. Once again, we all of us here, listeners, whether I'm the speakers, my guests, or the listeners, all of us are maybe in a different age gap. But I'm telling you guys, everyone is still learning here, and this is an open space for learning and teaching as well. Because I do need some advice too. I mean, I do need a lot of advice for my life. I am still young, and I am so grateful to be here. I am excited to invite guests that can probably tell me and you some good stuff that we can, apply onto our daily lives, guys. I will be showing you guys the view of my Airbnb, and I'm gonna say goodbye. Okay, this is the view. It's directly to Waikiki Beach. It's awesome. And yeah, guys, I am very thankful once again that you are here with me, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode. Ciao, guys. Love ya.